What is freedom to you? What is freedom to you?
What is freedom to you? What is freedom to you?
What is freedom to you?
What does freedom mean to you?
I think freedom to me is being able to live my life out of the basis of the things that I believe in to be true. And I think that freedom to me can mean that I can speak about those things and not fear for being persecuted. And also that within that there can be some room for a belief in, I guess, a freedom to believe that there might be one truth. I think that whilst there's been slavery and things like that in the past, that the concept of there being one truth is something that is maybe, I think, a freedom that is maybe can sometimes feel like it's under threat.
Freedom is a lack of constraint as much as possible on what you want to think, be, say, and do. But it doesn't necessarily mean whatever you want, because I think freedom has caveats and limits, which is an important part of everybody else's freedom, not just yours. And I think that your freedom ends where another person's begins. If your notions of freedom involve putting others at risk or breaking perfectly reasonable laws, then you may need to rethink your definition of freedom. So living free of constraints as much as possible, so long as you are not grossly inconveniencing or harming anyone else.
Freedom to me is a combination of thought, speech, movement, a degree of being able to do those things as you wish, but within reasonable constrictions as well, okay, such as laws. So freedom to speak, think, do as you rightly wish. And one of the freedoms right now would be the freedom to remove that and see people smiling. That would be a lovely freedom to enjoy right now. Thank you.
Okay, freedom for me is being able to express myself in a world where we are governed by the laws of racism, of sexism, and whether or not to practice what you believe in. Specifically, if I look at the country that I grew up in, with specific reference to physical freedom, we were segregated in terms of race and apartheid, and so we were unable to really, express ourselves and be who we are because of the laws of the country at the time. So for me, that sort of inhibited me physically to be free. And then if I look at spiritual freedom, that's being able to express yourself spiritually or choose the religion that you wish to follow. And I think everybody should be able to follow the path that they want for themselves. And sometimes in our minds we are kept in captive. And also mental freedom is something that where you are allowed to think according to your own personal cultural beliefs and values. And so for me, freedom has many different facets that we can look at, but ultimately it's being free to be yourself no matter what the situation or what your circumstances are.
Freedom for me means having the right to do, to say, to think, to act any way that you want, but it's got to be done within the laws of that particular place if you're in a country, and if it doesn't harm other people, I think physically harm, because I think some freedoms are worth fighting for. So when you're fighting for certain freedoms, you're always going to be going against another point of view, so you're always going to be hurting someone's feelings at some point. But if you stand up for what you want, it's kind of like your freedom is what you want out of life, so that's what you basically represented.
Freedom to me are fundamental human rights. For example, the freedom to education. Being a teacher, the freedom to have access to education is very important, because I think that enables people and enables society to progress and to grow. So I think of people like Malala, who fought bravely for the access to education. So that's something that I think is very important.